So today's video is going to be my top tips for writing a good essay. This is more going to be like tailored to GCSE. Got my mug, it's a matter from Fox. I'm going to use joining us to discuss how to write a good English essay. I did a video a little while ago talking in a lot of detail about how I write my English essays, so if you would like to watch that video, then go watch it, it's on my channel. So I thought I'd do a video on giving specific essay tips and give some of my tips for a good essay. Definitely not an A-star, always good essay writer, but writing an essay is something that comes quite naturally to me, more than it would to a lot of other people. I say I've worked hard to get good at spotting certain things like language devices, structure points, all that kind of thing. It depends on my mindset when I'm answering the question. When my brain is foggy, I definitely do not write as good an essay as when my brain is more chilled and I'm in the essay flow. English is definitely the in the moment type of subject because you never know what the extract will be like, whether you'll get a good question, whether you'll go mind blank. My first tip is be familiar with the AOs on your mark scheme. If you're not familiar, go look at them on your specification. What do you need to talk about? Stuff like context, language, structure. Do you need to do an evaluation question? Anything to do with similarities and differences, or writers' point perspectives and ideas. If you're not being marked on something, then you don't really need to learn it. You need to be strong in what you're marked on. Next tip is planning. Planning is so hard in exam situations. I find it so difficult to plan an exam situation. Timing makes it hard to plan because you have like 5 to 10 minutes to just jot down a plan. You need to plan whether you highlight key quotes, annotate the text, engage with the text while reading it through, or underlining if you don't like highlighting. You could mind map a plan. Either mind map or just blurt it down what I'm planning. Number 2, the thing that is not spoken about so much when it comes to a good essay is like relevance. Is what you're writing relevant to the specific question? Most people, when they're thinking of a good essay, think of planning, learning quotes, polishing their writing style, having a good polished essay. And they don't necessarily think about answering the question. If you don't answer the question, you probably won't even get a pass. When you have really good points to say, it's so easy to run off on a tangent and go off topic of the question. You're going to answer the question, then you need to check your work and check you've answered the question, because then you can change bits that you didn't answer the question necessarily. If it is about how the writer engages the reader using like language and structure, you'd write something. The writer uses this to engage the reader. This is shown by, quote, this is engaging because, and finally, furthermore, this is engaging because. My next tip is have a good vocabulary. The best way to broaden your vocabulary is to read. It can be books, it can be magazines, it can be the newspaper, it can be the news, it can be reading articles, it can be anything really. Helps because it means you're not using the same words over and over again, and it just keeps it fresh rather than going dry and stale. You don't want to keep using successfully, powerfully, clearly, effectively. You want to use other words like excellent, fantastic. My next point is P-E-E-Z, peasels. This is a good structure. I know exam boards like it. That is kind of how my essays I tend to write them, apart from if I'm doing like a writing section question. Personally, not my favourite way of writing. Kind of do it because I kind of have to, but personally, I wouldn't do it out of choice. I prefer to develop my own writing style. Also, it can be kind of basic. It's what I find. You kind of need to move away and expand on that, because it can get very basic if you're really not careful. You do need to make sure that you embed your quotes no matter what your writing style is. Recycle quotes, don't just use them once and never again, and don't just go for one point language and structure points. Go for ones that develop on and that can be used. Again, find quotes that have multiple techniques. Think about not just other readers but yourself as well. Engage with it, build your own opinion. And make sure with what you're reading in the exam that you're engaging with it. Think about whether it's written in first or third person narrative. Another tip is you need to polish your writing style. So by the time you sit the exam or assignments you have, your writing style needs to be polished so that you're ready to show off your knowledge. Also, don't write your points sloppy, because you will do badly. Have your writing style more sophisticated, comes with practice, reading and building on your vocabulary. My final tip is just practice. Practice writing essays untimed and timed, because they're so important, because timing is a big problem. You need to, as well as timing, be as polished. That's why developing your writing style is important. Untimed helps to polish your writing style, whereas timed essays help with getting better and becoming more aware of the timing. So, hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Bye.